All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy jonyfraze. Today we are doing something a little bit different. So Victrix actually sent me their full lineup of controllers for the FGC. So I get to unbox each one and test everything out. I have the newest Pro FS, which is like the PlayStation 5 version of the Pro FS, the Fightstick. I have their new pad, and I have their new stickless controller as well. So let's go unbox stuff, guys. I'm assuming it's the giant box. Wow, okay. One thing I noticed right away, it's definitely licensed by Sony. We do have the PlayStation tags here. Okay, it is the PS5 colorway for PS4 and PS5. It's looking like I have the white variant. Okay, officially licensed right here. Victrix by PDP. It still says PDP here, even though Turtle Beach. I'll read this out to you guys. So Pro FS arcade fight stick, 30mm Salma buttons. Okay, we have a control bar with touchpad. That's new. I had the original one and it did not have the touchpad. 3mm detachable USB-C cable. PS5, PS4, PC. So there's a switch on there. Easy, okay. Clean, easy to mod layout. Okay, 3.5mm audio jack. We knew about that before. Ergonomic 6.25 wrist slope. Single piece aircraft grade aluminum shell. Okay, so it looks like everything is mostly the same from the last version. Okay, this is very familiar. Beautiful USB cable. It's braided. Nice braided USB cable. There's a getting started guide right here in English and Japanese. Beautiful bag. I like it. Canvas. Really nice. Okay. There is a little film protecting the top portion. So this is the strap for your cable. I actually remove these every time. Kind of takes away from the original form. So you can remove these. This is the stock Sanwa JLF shaft, okay? And I guess they give you a black ball top, and this is also the stock dust cover. You see that? It is really nice that you do get the original JLF parts. That's super nice. I mean, like, they didn't have to do that. Okay, so this is a little cover for the joystick. You could see here, it has their proprietary link system, okay? So what does that mean? I'm gonna flip this over. I'm very familiar with this product because it's been out for a while, number one, and I've also owned one. But you could flip the cover here, and this is beautiful, okay? Again, everything's braided, really nice layout of how they did the internal electronics. You can see the JLF here, okay? All the wiring for the buttons here. Okay, oh, and here is the switch for PC, PS4, and PS5. So I'm gonna switch it on PC because that's what we're gonna be using this on today, all right? And then really cool is that you get your lever right here. You see that? So this is the removable lever, okay? And here is actually the tool to remove the cable management system. So I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. These are like the internal brackets in the back here, okay? And this is the brackets that hold the cables on the outside. We can put this guy, the dust cover, right here. How cool is that? You just pop that right there. How cool is that? Headphone jack right over here. This shaft can be actuated. You see that? Then so you push it up and then you click it right in. I will tell you, I think most levers are a tad higher. So this is a tournament lockout mode right here. It's the one that has like the Victrix symbol. It has the touchpad. That's new from the first generation of the Victrix. I never had the version with the touchpad. Okay, so for PlayStation, that's pretty awesome. For PC, meh, it's not really that much of a game changer, okay? So the Pro button by default is set to L3. If you hold down these two buttons for 3 seconds, it turns to R3. To reset it back to factory default, press the X button and Pro button together and quickly release. Okay, so that's the way to kind of switch this from L3 to R3. Probably would have been better served to just have an individual L3 and R3 button. But honestly, if you're just using it for like training mode reset and training mode options, it's not really that bad. but I think that it would have been beneficial to have both. This button here is the create button, which is share. So it's PlayStation and share. I was thinking it was very specific to the controller. Sama buttons, they're goated. No complaints on Sama buttons, but I feel like maybe to add to the premiumness of this stick, they could have definitely, you know what I mean, added like maybe a micro switch button of some sort. Okay, so overall this feels fantastic in my lap. Super heavy, typical Vuelix layout. Feels really good. Lever is kind of silent, but like you cannot hide your presses. If you tap lightly, it still makes a noise. And that's a Sanwa button on the metal. So I would say if you're that type of player that plays with a freaking cardboard box, this stick is not for you. Like this thing is, you are smacking the crap out of buttons, right? I don't think that has changed. It's just the nature. It's the nature of the product. It's the nature of the product because of how plastic buttons are arranged on the metal frame. But it does feel premium. You see the button inputs, right? You see how they're shiny? That's a nice touch as well. I also really, really love this, whatever this material is, this like silicone padding. And the foam here is fantastic. It's definitely top tier. Low key, if someone's harassing you at a tournament, this thing can take someone out. That's a good thing and a bad thing. As far as build quality, it's really good. I don't know if the PCBs have changed over the years and whatnot. Well, it had to have because now this supports PS5 off the gate. Honestly, time will tell. And also, it's up to you guys to take care of your stuff. Like a lot of these people who, you know, claim that there's issues, sometimes they're just really rough with their equipment, you know? I know a lot of people like that. They just trash their gear and like slam it and like they don't care about it. So it's all about how you maintain your equipment, just like anything else. There's a 2-year warranty. That's pretty good. Here's some feedback. It would have been nice if I could stuff the cable in here, but I can't. But you could just tuck it in here. This is like the Victrix tech that everyone uses. They just put the cable on the side, you know, but it's not secure, you know what I mean? Dust cover, shaft, and Allen key. That can go there. I'm pretty interested in this. So here it is, guys. Pro BFG Reloaded wireless modular controller for PS5. Pretty excited about this. Very similar packaging. It has the PlayStation branding, officially licensed, the blue and white. Notice this, guys. This actually says Victrix by Turtle Beach. Whereas before, the Victrix still said PDP. Okay, so a little bit of paperwork here. So we did get a case for it. That's really nice. It has some purple stitching here. The zipper's purple. USB cable. Okay, we have the pad itself. Whoa, there is a lot of gear here. Okay, so there's like there's a hexagon gate. There's a hex gate. There is another hex gate. There is the fight pad portion. I think I'm gonna mess around with this. Okay, there's a fight pad. I like fight pads. And then there's the wireless dongle here. There's a hex key here, mounted on a screwdriver. Okay, and then we do have some extra thumbsticks here. There's like a metal thumbstick. And then there's a short throw thumbstick here as well. Let me see if I can pop that out. So we have these like 2 thumbsticks. See how this is like a shorter guy, and this is a little taller guy. On the back, there is a wired or wireless mode here. And I guess there's like a pair button as well here. So I flipped it over to wired mode. I don't think this is the best for fighting games. This is probably what, for shooters? Square, triangle, cross, circle. These guys feel like standard PlayStation buttons. I'm hitting these freaking trigger buttons on the bottom. I'm definitely not used to that. Analogs, I mean, they feel like a standard analog pad. I don't really feel any different. This is a fast trigger. If I push it and then let go, then I have full, okay? I reset it. So I probably want it to be like really fast activation, right? And these are interesting because the switches in here are actually Kale switches versus the standard PlayStation type feel. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop that in. I'm using the tool here, and there's little hex screws here. Let's get this out of the way. lift this up? Oh, it just lifts right up. All right, that's really nice. Okay, so here's the fight pad module, okay? I guess I'm just gonna drop this in. So the screws are actually embedded and they don't come out fully, so you can't really lose the screws. That's a nice touch. I really appreciate that. Okay, these buttons are way different, okay? The buttons are super different. Okay, look, they're like literally like just cylinders. Whereas this guy, they're round. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that right away. Okay, they just pop off. All right, so I just pulled this piece off. So there's a cross, the Xbox pad. I don't like the regular cross. Xbox style is probably the best. Right shoulder. I want that to be L1. Okay, then I want the trigger to be left trigger. And I want left trigger to be nothing. For me, this is probably the best setup. Now I can feel like I can play this game. I am digging this. Like this is my setup now. Honestly, it feels really good. I could definitely get used to this. Like if I had to switch the pad, this would be the one. Oh, you know what I want to know? Can I save this as a profile? That would be sick. Like you should be able to save this as a profile. Yeah, you can't save it. Cause like what if you have one of these controllers, right? And then you play multiple games. It would have been dope if you could make those profiles, right? And then if there was like a command on here to cycle through them. Because right now, I set this up strictly as a fighting game controller. So it's almost like you need two. And I like how you could replace the modules. Because you know how like all you pad players out there, D-pad always breaks, right? So you could just get another, instead of buying a whole ass controller, you could just buy the D-pad. You can get the white one for 40 bucks. Yeah, $210. If you guys been looking for a pad, definitely consider this. Victrix by Turtle Beach. You could tell this is one of the newer generation products. Leverless Fightstick. Off the rip, it looks like we have the stock hitbox layout. It has the same purple braided USB cable, 16 removable buttons, PS5, PS4, and PC, just like everything else. Everything seems to pop up over here. Aluminum top plate, hot swappable switches. They're using the Cherry MX Speed, so the silver switches. We got it. Super nice. The Victrix bag. It's our trusty cable. Aluminum feels good, okay? I will tell you, the buttons, they're loud, right? Just like how the Pro FS was. They're definitely loud. And they're also kind of raised. Like, compared to most flat boxes nowadays, which I honestly have right here. You see how flat they are? You can barely even see the buttons, right? So compared to a typical flat box, this definitely has like arcade buttons. They definitely pop off more and they're more tactile, but some people might not like that anymore. I wonder how to remove this. There are little tabs here, so I'm gonna push these tabs in. Okay. Oh, okay, there we go. So I was able to pop that right off. Okay, nice. The shell comes right off. That's super dope. We have more switches, and they weren't kidding. These are just regular ass Cherry switches. Let me see. Like I have 1,000 of these sitting in a drawer because they're the silver speed switches. And then you got a switch puller right here. How nice is that? Okay, so I'm gonna grab a switch. That's pretty cool. So what do? I just grab one of these? Oh, cool. And then there's a cap here. Okay, cool. So there was a plunger. No, there's a cap, and then there's the little housing. Okay, that just pops right off. Holy moly. Can I put this in this place here? Oh, I can. So I'm gonna install a switch. I'm just gonna put this right here. Okay. Okay, there we go. There's a little switch here. This pops off. Okay, USB-C here. Did I plug that in properly? Yeah, it looks like I did. And then you could lock the cable in. That's super nice. SOCD. Oh, that's nice. Okay, SOCD neutral. Okay, I like neutral. I'll set this up the way I want it, and then we'll add the extra button before we start playing. P3 for sure. I want that to be another L2 because I actually use that for parry. And then P4, I want that to be R3. I make that R3. And then P2, I'll make that L3. Honestly, I feel like you should just install all the buttons, and then P1 can be nothing. P1 can be nothing. That's super dope that they're just using silver switches. I do wish, however, that they made them a little bit more shallow, because these are hella, like, in today's standard for leverless controllers, these are kind of tall. The light button, if you press up or down, you could switch between the different color modes. I feel like they could have made the buttons a little bit more attuned to like a keyboard style, where this is basically like, it feels like arcade buttons on a flat box. Maybe that's your thing. The flat box community kind of gotten used to low profile micro switches. The one takeaway that I've had from all these controllers is that the build quality is phenomenal. Like, I'm really, really happy with that. That is phenomenal. Very, 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 very premium feel. The feel on my lap feels good. It's like a perfect height. I think it's a perfect width. So this guy cost $250. The wrist slope is nice. Right there, you can install a carry strap. All three Victrix products that we tested today have been pretty fantastic. If you have the original Fightstick, I wouldn't say go ahead and update it. It still works on PS5 anyway, so you're not really missing much. I like this product the best. Like, for me, I would probably use this more than anything. You know what I mean? I like this product the best. I think it's like the most versatile for fighting games. If you're a pad player, this is probably one of the best pads out right now. I put this through the paces. I really did enjoy it. I customized this the way I wanted to, and it felt awesome. And just the customization options are ridiculous. Like, we put in the fight pad portion. We swapped the D-pad to the Xbox style. So I would say this is probably like one of the best bang for the buck if you play pad. Both these products, I think that one feature they should definitely add, and I think they can do it, I just don't know whether or not they can load profiles. Like, I don't know if there's any memory on the PCBs of this, but it would be dope to be able to, especially the pad, if you could load a profile. If you could say, okay, I want to play fighting games, I'm gonna load profile 1, maybe it's like a quick, like, you know, hold PS, press 4 buttons or whatever. That would be super dope. Okay, same thing with this. You're not gonna have a PC all the time to configure everything. Being that these are the two newest products, rightfully so, they're probably the better products. If you're a fight stick head like me, still amazing product. I like the updates on here. The one thing I don't like about this is that you don't have a dedicated L3 and R3. You do have a dedicated touchpad, which is a new update. Touchpad was pretty vital, but I feel like it's a little outdated, because a lot of gamers now are actually using L3 and R3 in their games. These aren't gonna be my main devices. I'm not gonna put in the time like you guys do if you were to buy this stuff. So all my opinions right now are just based on initial, I just unboxed this stuff and tested it, okay? I cannot tell you as far as durability. I'm probably gonna bring this with me everywhere I go, because I have one of those Asus ROG Allies. I'm gonna chuck this in my ROG Ally bag, so I have a controller to play with, essentially. All right, guys, so once again, thank you to Turtle Beach, thank you to Victrix for providing me these to kind of take a closer look at. Definitely some of the better products out there, all officially licensed for PS5, which is really nice. So you don't have to worry about like crazy compatibility or buying freaking dongles or anything like that. Hopefully you guys got a lot of info about this. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little demo. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one.